Hang on, guys. I gotta fix one little thing here because had to fix my camera a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Let me slice that down a little bit. Move myself over. There we go. Much better. Yeah. Okay. Well, wait for YouTube Studio to get going here. All right. Well, this will be fun. What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Guardians series recap, series preview live stream. And on the docket today, I'll be recapping the first leg of the 2025 Ohio Cup against our little boy brothers. Against our little bros from down in southwestern Ohio on the border with Kentucky. They get all pissy when you say they're in Kentucky, which makes it even funnier because by getting so mad, it makes trolling them about it even funnier. So, yeah. And then I'll be previewing our series in Minnesota as the Guardians are on a nice little road trip, which I'm sure they're enjoying quite a lot, right? Chance to, really further bond with each other. Of course, it's a lot better when you win, which we didn't do a lot of winning in this series. In fact, we didn't win a single damn game. Yeah, that's right. The Guardians got swept by the little old Reds, who are, in case you've been living under a rock the past few months, now managed by former Guardian legend. I mean, he's still a legend in Cleveland, but yeah, Terry Francona. I'll tell you what, it gave me I don't even know what to say, bruh. It made my stomach turn seeing him in red and black after he was in these colors for pretty much a decade. And man, did we have fun. Yeah, I mean, we had our ups and downs, from many division titles and even a pennant. Yeah, we won a pennant. Mm-hmm. But of course, the highlight, I think, of his term here was just the fact that we won so many division titles, right? We were legit looked at as like a top 3 or 4 team in the AL. Yeah. Too bad ownership didn't really help us take advantage. Although, following the World Series run, we did go out and sign Edwin. That was pretty cool. I believe to this day he is the largest outside contract that the Guardians have signed. I think it was in general the largest contract until Jose's contract. Yeah. And so far, we're kind of wasting that contract away. Classic Guards. But have no fear, guys. By the time Jose's contract is up, David Blitzer will be the new owner. Yay! Just in time for the Guardians to really go on like an all-in push in Jose's final few years of being elite. I could just see them doing that too. They go all in to try to get a ring for Jose in his final few years. I could see them doing it, especially with Blitzer. They go out, sign a couple big names to some good contracts, and try to make a push at the thing, right? So let's get into talking about this series against the Reds, not the communists. I'm not talking about Russia. I'm talking about Cincinnati, which might as well be Russia at this point. So much we don't like them, right? They're pretty much the commies to us. Oh man, it's so funny though. And I'll be honest, I've never seen a pathetic, weak ass team fan base talk so much crap. Like I actually looked, and I swore I saw. No, I didn't. Thought I would have seen it, but no. I'm surprised Reds fans didn't plan a parade after beating us finally, because it seemed like we were their World Series. Yeah, we were their World Series. The way they acted, right? Damn. Oh well. So, anyways, first game of the series, it was Tanner Bybee against Brady Singer, a guy that, of course, we know very well. And for a little while, it looked like he was not the same Brady Singer that we saw in Kansas City. To be fair, every time we faced him, it seemed like he got better and better, which is good, improvement. But eventually, the Guardians did get to him a little bit, as Tanner, well, wasn't great. 6 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and 2 dingers. Brady Singer, though, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks, and a homer with a 5 ERA. The scoring, well, Will Benson, you will hear his name a lot in this video, in the first part of the stream. 3-run shot, bottom second inning. And then Santiago Espinal would add a run on a single, and that would be a 4-run second inning. And that run by Espinal would actually come back to be the essential go-ahead and winning run because of what would happen later. So it would be 4-0, and then Austin Hayes would homer in the bottom of the third. And by the way, that run only scores from Espinal because Arias stinks now. Throwing error. Go figure. Right? We had Rocchio up here all that time, and Arias actually looked good. Now, we get rid of Rocchio, and now Arias stinks. I see how it is. Okay. So yeah, 5-0, bottom 3, but then the Guardians start to awaken. Carlos Santana, 2-run single. Probably could have been more than that, but it's not a single. It could have been a double, but the ball kicked off the wall. So 5-2. Oh, here they come. And then top of the 5th, Bo Naylor would homer, 5-3. And then things would get interesting. Top of the 8th, Jose Ramirez, solo shot, made it 5-4. And I already know, somewhere in southwestern Ohio, or whatever city that dude lives in, Dashy was sweating through whatever jersey he was wearing. He was probably thinking, oh shit, like, oh no. And I already know, because Carlos Santana damn near left the yard. Because, of course, there were some storms coming. Not going to blame the storms. But people say that, if that would have happened earlier, then the ball probably leaves the yard. But, of course, the air got cooler. The wind started to blow a little bit. And yeah, just couldn't push it out of the yard. Yep. I know he was sweating through his britches watching that, though. And of course, there was Emilio Pagan. Yep. We know him very well again. That ball, 342 feet to right field. Died at the damn warning track. So yeah, the Reds take game 1, 5-4. Brady Singer got the win, 5-2. He's 501 501 ERA. IB 3-4, 406 ERA, and Pagan got his 10th save of the year. So then we go to yesterday's game. And I believe this was supposed to be where Ben would start. But of course, he's out with a forearm injury. So in his place, they had a Slade Ciccone. And man, I wasn't sure what to expect. Not at all. What's up, Eric? I was not sure what to expect at all from Slade because I heard he wasn't very good in spring training. He got hurt. And man, I'll tell you, he had some good stuff. So he would go 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 8 Ks, and a homer. You can probably guess who the homer is from. Will Benson, again. And he has a 5.40 ERA. And then the Reds went with a bullpen game instead of Chase Petty. 3 innings, 4 hits, and a strikeout from Suter, who got the start. In total, though, 8 hits, 1 run, 6 Ks, and a homer allowed. And of course, Daniel Schneemann was the only guy to go yard. In fact, the Guardians would strike first with the homer in the top of the 5th. And then Will Benson would strike right after that with a solo shot of his own. So it's 1-1 just like that. And then from that point on, it would be all Reds as Santiago Espinal would single in a run in the 6th, followed by Austin Hayes double scoring a run. And then 7th inning, Rhys Hines would put it away with a solo shot of his own, making it 4-1. The Guardians really, they got a lot of hits, but again, they stranded like a billion runners in this series. So they lose 4-1. May got the win. He's 1-0 with a 108 ERA. Cicconi's 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA. And Pagan got his 11th save with a 3.68 ERA. And of course, as far as how the Guardians did in the 9th, well, it went about as you'd expect from a feeble-ass team. 3 straight outs. No threatening at all. And then we get to today's game. And we had Luis Ortiz going up against Andrew Abbott. And the Guardians offense would do a little damage. But again, not enough. Not enough. I feel like Kendrick Lamar. It's not enough. It's not enough. Abbott versus Ortiz. And for a while there, it was a nice little pitcher's duel. The Guardians, though, would get bases loaded. First inning. Right? They hit Kwan to lead off the game. J. Ram, for some reason, he lines out. Then Abbott walks the next 2, Arias and Santana. Or Santana and Arias. Bases are loaded with 1 out. John Kinsey Noel at the plate. Strikes out. Yeah. Only 1 pitch was even in the zone. And they were all swinging strikes. He did not stop swinging except for a pitch that was by far way outside the zone. I'm telling you, he needs to get sent down. Not because he stinks, but you got to get him consistent at bats to get his confidence up. He ain't playing a lot out here in the majors right now. No, because they'd rather play Will Brennan over him. I'd send him back down for about a month or so. Let him get his confidence back up. Let him mash against AAA pitching. get his confidence back up, let him get back in the rhythm, and then see what happens maybe after the All-Star break. Because he ain't playing much, and the only way you can get better is if you play a lot, and he can't. Too many holes in his game. And the Guardians would actually be down again. In fact, this game was all Will Benson pretty much for the Reds. He had all three of their runs. 2 runs shot in the bottom of the 4th. And then bottom 6, he had a solo shot. Then the Guardians would get on the board with a Carlos Santana single. And they would actually threaten in the bottom of the 9th, or in the top of the 9th. They would threaten. But of course, the theme of the game, stranding runners. This team does not have a clutch bone in their body right now. The Guardians were 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position. We left 12 dudes on base. Think if we could execute clutch hitting, we might have scored a couple more runs. We probably win this game. Hell, we probably win this series. But you look at the lineup, and it's like, Quad, good. J-Ram, GOAT. Santana, he's good. He's all right. Ari, ass. Stinks. Manzardo, good, but he's a pinch hitter. Brennan, stinks. Noel, stinks. Jones, he got a couple hits, but he stinks. Martinez, mid. Will Wilson doesn't even play much. I don't even know what to think of him. Schneeman, he's all right. Hedges, thank God he's got a good glove. And Bo, great. He's been much, much better lately. Again, it just takes a little bit of time for him to get in a rhythm, and he can be so good. Makes me wonder, though, what are they going to do with Bo eventually when Cooper Ingle and Cozart are ready to go in the minors? What about Ralphie? Ralphie's probably going to play a lot of first base anyway. But damn, what are you going to do with Bo? Honestly, they're going to do what the Guardians always do. They're going to trade him. Yeah. They're going to trade him. Huh? Because that's what they do. That's exactly what they're going to do. So, yeah, we lose all 3 games. Abbott got the win. He's 3-0, 180 ERA. Luis got shafted, kind of. 2-5, 4.66 ERA, and Pagan got his 12th save, 3.52 ERA. Ortiz went 5 solid innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 7 Ks and a homer, 2 walks, 4.66 ERA. Abbott, 5 innings, a 4-hit, shutout, 3 walk, 5K ball, with a 1.80 ERA. What's up, Coach? GTV? What's poppin'? Yeah. So, you go on Twitter, you see Reds fans 42 and 27 against the Reds at home. I think in the 2010s. That's pretty damn impressive. Now, who knows what will happen? All they got to do is win 1 game and they take the trophy home for the first time in God knows how long. But you know what they're going to do. They're going to run around parading it through their... Hey, look at us, man. We won the Ohio Cup. Woo-hoo. Look at us. Yeah. We finally beat the Guardians. We finally beat the Guardians. They've been our daddy for over a decade, but we finally beat them. Ha 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 ha. Now, what would be hilarious is they finally beat us this year. Oh, talking about how he cares about the city, and Apparently, the Guardians never cared about winning, even though we were literally like one of the best teams in the American League every year. We were fighting for the Central every year, even though the Central was god ass awful for most of those years. And we had how many? I've gone over it many times. Division championships. We even have an American League pennant. Again, Dashy, since you don't know what that a pennant is, that's when you win your league. You win your league. The Guardians did that. Tito's gonna care about the city. He loved Cleveland. I think he still loves Cleveland. He'd visit Cleveland whenever he wanted to. Because honestly, if I saw Tito walking around, I'd be like, be real. Which is better, Cincy or Cleveland? Be real. Which is better, Cincy or Cleveland? I'm sure he'd much rather have the Dolans and the Castellini. I'm sure he'd much rather have the Dolans and the Castellinis. He's assholes, but I'd rather be a Guardian than friggin' Red. Oh man, this is so funny. He's over here like gushing at the mouth talking about Tito. I'm thinking, man, that's funny. He talks about us choking in the playoffs. What has your team done in the playoffs? Your team never even made it. You guys made it one time when the league when it was expanded playoffs, and you got steamrolled by the Braves. So you wouldn't even be able to experience a choke job in the playoffs because you'd never made it. Besides, in most of those matchups, we faced one of the top teams in the American League every time. Yankees or Astros. The one time we didn't face the Astros or Yankees, we made it to the damn World Series. Think about that. Literally, every time we made the playoffs, we faced the Astros or the Yankees. The one time we didn't, we made the World Series. And yeah, I know we blew against the Cubs. Yeah, but honestly, when you have to pitch your ace 3 games in that series because you lost your pitching depth, that's just bad luck. I'll say it to this day. If Trevor hadn't sliced his finger with that damn drone, if Cookie wasn't hurt, Salazar wasn't hurt, if we had Brantley, we'd probably win. The fact that we even had a chance like that while using Corey Kluber 3 games in that series. Honestly, if I was Tito, I would have went with Ryan Merritt in Game 7. He won us the American League pennant. I would have went to him in his cowboy boots, be like, yo, Ryan, you got us the American League pennant. Now I'm gonna need you to go out there and help us get that damn World Series title pennant. And I would do it like he would usually have done it. You run Ryan out there for about 4 or 5, maybe 5, 6 innings, depending on how he's doing. The first sign of a lead, boom, right? Andrew Miller comes in. Oh, it's so funny. It is hilarious. But, like I said, means nothing unless you win the World Series. Which again, Dashin, you wouldn't know how that feels. Considering your team's been buried in the basement of the freaking NL Central for God knows how long. It took 3 out of 4. So the first game, if I can remember, okay, so they had Milwaukee. Okay, that's hilarious though. Because we destroyed Milwaukee. And of course, Minnesota faced Milwaukee after we did. And then we faced Minnesota. All right, so we will have. And then. All right, so we will have. And then for the Guardians. For the Guardians, Nolan Jones has a homer. Against Ober and an RBI. J-Ram has a home run in 3, and Noel has an RBI. So he's actually done something against this guy. Oh, cool. Fantastic. Logan is 2-2, 3.70 ERA, 31 Ks. Bailey Ober is 4-1 with a 3.72 ERA and 40 Ks. Okay. Now let's take a look at their last few starts. While that's loading up, let's pull up the next matchup, which will be on the 20th. And it'll be Gavin against Paddock. All right. So Bailey Ober coming off a 4 2/3, 2-hit, 3-run, 3-walk, 3K, no decision against Baltimore. While Logan is coming off a pretty damn impressive 6-inning, 3-hit, 1-walk, 6K shutout performance against the Brew Crew. Now that's what really pisses me off. Because we looked so damn good against the mighty Brewers. So 2 out of 3. In fact, in those 2 wins, they didn't score a damn run. Then we go out and look like that against the freaking Reds? Did we use up all our runs and all our good energy against the damn Brewers? Or maybe it's because it was at home. And the Guardians at home are just a completely different team this year. But still, Logan Allen put up a good outing against the Brewers. A very solid Brewers team, too. They're a damn good team. Very solid team. So then we go to game number 2. Gavin versus Paddock. 3-2. Yeah, Gavin's 3-2, 4.29 ERA, 51 Ks. And Paddock, of course, is 2-3, 4.05 ERA, 33 strikeouts. Let me actually make sure that we did, because I know we faced Ober, because we lost. That was the game that we lost against them. It was like 11-1 against Bailey Ober. What's up, OGT? Good series. Yep, GG's. I'll say GG's to OGT because, me and him kind of share a few teams of interest. Like I said, though, gotta watch your freaking mouth when you're talking trash because we gotta face you guys next month. And all you need to have happen is you run your mouth and then we put the shoe on the other foot and we stick our steel ears against Gavin. Last time we faced him. Yeah, that doesn't even say anything on here for that. Shouldn't it say something about that, right? Like these two should have an RBI against Gavin. And then, yeah, they should have, and France should have one besides Jeffers. Yeah, they should have quite a few of them. Although, wait, hold up. No, that's true. Against Gavin? My brain is mush. Sorry, guys. It just hit me. It's like, oh, how about not all 11 runs happen against Gavin? Because you gotta look. 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs against Gavin. Gavin went only 2 innings. Oh, that's right, 2 innings. So, yeah, 2 innings, 4 earned runs. Julien homered. Well, clearly, Julien's not on here. He's not on here. So there's that. And then Jeffers doubled. There's that RBI. And then Buxton, who's also out. Had 2 as well, but he's out. I believe he collided with somebody. So I think it was Correa. So he's done. He's out for a bit, I think. So yeah, there you go. That's why. And then they took him out. And Junis came in, and then yeah. So that's why. There's your answer. How about that, right? Yeah. And then it was after that, we look at the next 3. Okay. Yeah, this one was Paddock against Bybee, which now Paddock's facing Gavin. Okay. And then there was Pablo against Ortiz, which Ortiz just pitched today. Yeah. Paddock. Paddock against Bybee. Ortiz against Pablo. And then SWR versus Ben, who's injured. So, yeah. That might explain that a little bit there. For anyone who is wondering why is the matchup so different. So we don't face SWR or Pablo. But we do face Paddock. And of course, Ober. Again. Now there's one new face that we have not faced yet this year. And that's Joe Ryan. And I'll get into him in a minute. But yeah, Gavin 3-2, 4.29 ERA, 51 Ks. He's been all right, up and down for sure. Paddock 2-3, 4.05 ERA, 33 strikeouts. Dashy runs his mouth, but he did say he felt bad for you at OGT after that sad Cavs choke. He just says that to try to freaking, because he knows exactly what happens when he comes at my team. So he says, I feel bad for you, thinking that I'll actually back off, which no. No. Because, as I've said many times to other people, running your mouth and laughing at a team for losing in the playoffs when your team couldn't even get in, it's just hilarious to me. Why do you think, as a Browns fan, I never laugh at my rival? I mean, I do laugh at my rivals losing, but yeah. I mean, come on. I mainly really laugh at the Steelers because we were the last time we beat them in the playoffs. But if your team is essentially stuck in playoff purgatory, that is the play-in round in the NBA, and you can't even get into the playoffs. Meanwhile, my team did. I wouldn't really talk, especially when my team swept his. In fact, we've rarely lost to the Bulls the last few years. So I don't know why he's talking so much like that, but okay. Whatever. Just, he hasn't seen a championship since I was born, really. I think I was 2 years old the last time they won something, and I'm sure he was in diapers too. Since then, the Bulls haven't even reached that far in the playoffs, really. In fact, let me actually look real quick. I'm curious. Because imagine that, right? You're talking Ish as a Bulls fan, which really pissed me off because he was calling Cavs fans bandwagon as a Bulls fan. And I've never seen him do a video or anything at a Bulls game. So for all I know, he's a bandwagon. He's not from Chicago. You don't live in Chicago, fool. Don't be calling people that live in Cleveland bandwagon. Because he's from there. You're a Ducks fan living in Cincy. And I know damn well he's never stepped foot in the Honda Center. Or even the United Center. I should put on Eagle Speed and call him a TV fan. Because that's essentially what he is for those teams. He's a TV hockey or Ducks and Bulls fan. Yeah, I haven't been to the freaking Rocket Mortgage Center thing since LeBron left the first time, but I haven't really been able to get up there. Especially now. At least I've been to a Guardians game the last 10 years. And obviously, I've been to Browns games. I have videos on my YouTube channel of me at the Browns game doing the intros. Every time I go, I try to usually bangers. All right, enough talking about that garbage. Let's talk about the final game of the series against the Twins. I already talked about Paddock, right? You know, he got the win over Baltimore. Doesn't look bad against Milwaukee. But now we get to the final game of the series. As I pull it up here in a moment. Uno momento. May 21st. Where are we at? All right, here. It'll be Tanner Bybee against Joe Ryan. Now, of course, we haven't faced Joe Ryan yet this year. So let's take a look at his stuff. And then, of course, Tanner Bybee fell victim to the Reds. And the fact that his offense didn't want to show up. Well, at least they did, but they didn't do enough. So, Joe Ryan against Milwaukee, 6 innings of 2 hit, 1 walk, 9K shutout ball, got the win in the 16th. And of course, Tanner took an unlucky loss. You know, gave up 10 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks in 6 innings. Back-to-back bad luck losses the last one against Philly was even worse. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 3 Ks. Yikes. Straight up jeepers, creepers, because the offense wouldn't score. Back-to-back games where the offense just did not want to score for him. It's outrageous. Now, Joe Ryan against the Guardians, historically, last year we faced him, one time last year, actually, and we lost. We beat him. Yeah. Faced him one time last year. We actually beat him. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, and a homer. He's 3-4 with a 2.32 ERA, 44 Ks, and 9 appearances. All 3 of his wins came in his first real year of playing ball with the Twins. 2021, he actually won his debut. And then it seems like every start, the Guardians get more and more on him. It's going to end up like Barrios, where by the time he leaves, the Guardians will be beating him into the ground. I mean, it's to the point now where when you face Barrios, man, it's like I'm not scared of him at all, bro. Like, he's so easy to beat up on. But it is what it is there. So that's it for that. Very easy stuff there. Very easy stuff there. I told you I started watching the Reds in 04 against the Cubs, which makes me a Cincinnati Reds fan. That's funny because I wasn't even talking about the Reds. It's so funny because, he's this dude said the freaking Cavs, like the whole entire Cavs fan base is bandwagon. Yeah. Yet Dashy chose to be a fan of a freaking basketball team that just so happened to have won 6 championships. Yep. Yep. Like I said, I could have put the Eagles speed and said, instead of naming your offensive line, name the starting 5 of the team the year you started watching. Then he would have went to Google and made himself look, sound smart. I can't even name my starting 5. I was so damn young. I mean, God, it was before LeBron. I know we had Carlos Boozer. I know that much. My God. Who was it? Like Darius Miles? Ugh. Ricky Davis? Ugh. Carlos Boozer? I think Z was there. Yeah. God, that was horrible. Jeez. Remember Robert Tractor Trailer, too. Rest in peace. Gee whiz. Oh, I watched the Reds since I was 04. Like anybody gives a crap. This dude literally said in his video, laughing at the Cavs from, losing in the second round, calling the entire fan base bandwagon. Like, I'm sure there's some bandwagoners out there, but call the entire fan base bandwagon. Yeah, mm-hmm, sure. Coming from a fan who's never stepped foot in the United Center or the Honda Center for that matter, too, for hockey. But yeah, mainly talk about basketball. But, it is what it is. He can barely handle success, it appears. So, because if he's acting like this over a measly May series win, God, imagine what he'd act like, how he'd act in a freaking playoff series. Holy crap. You thought the dashy scorpion rages were bad now. Imagine his team gets its ass beat in the playoff series. Oh, hell nah. Because if Tito does what I think he's going to do, he's going to get them to the playoffs. Which means we going to see a dashy playoff rage video. Oh, hell no. Oh, man, dude. Oh, God, that dude could have a damn aneurysm. Oh, my God. Oh, man, that's tough. Because the funniest part is, a lot of those chokes happened with Tito. So if you're dashy, you got to be thinking, wait, that could happen to us. In which case, I'll just be sitting here like, I warned you. I freaking warned you, didn't I? Bitch. Yes, I did. Didn't I tell you? I told you. When did I tell you? A long time ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah, enjoy Tito. That's all I'm gonna say. He's a fun guy to have managing your team. Trust me, when he took over the Guardians, I was elated. I was as elated as he is. Going from Manny Acta's dumbass to freaking Tito? Oh, hell yeah. It was like a ray of sunshine. He got us to the wild card in his first year. Or second year, right around there. Yeah, we lost to his buddy Kevin Cash and the freaking Rays. But, a few years later, we made it to the World Series, and we honestly were like this close to winning it. Like I said earlier, a few things go our way, like our pitchers not falling off a damn cliff. Trevor Bauer not playing with drones. If Carlos Carrasco didn't take a comebacker, or if Danny Salazar didn't get hurt, our pitching rotation would have been great. But of course, Cleveland's luck. Look what happened. Now, of course, with the Reds being in the NL, they have to get to the Cubs in the whole first round. Now, luckily for them, was it Joe Madden isn't even in managing anymore. So yeah, Tito's kryptonite isn't in managing. Lucky for the Reds. But of course, you still got to deal with the NL West teams, and of course, we already saw he could not beat the Yankees or the Astros. Whew! Can only imagine the same thing would probably go for the same when it comes to the Phillies or the Braves and the Dodgers. Because, like I said, God, I'm choking. Call me Tito. Literally, let me look at our playoff history here. I'm pretty sure almost every year we made the playoffs, we faced Yankees or Astros. Big old brick wall in our way. So that's pretty much all I got for this one. I'm gonna wrap this up and I will see you guys later. Not going live tomorrow. I'm gonna just relax and watch some TV and yeah, talk about how the Guardians need to at least take 2 of 3 and do some damage against the Twins as the Panthers took down the Maple Leafs again. Well, not again, but the Maple Leafs losing game 7 again. Talk about chokers. My God, the freaking Maple Leafs. Jeez, man. All they do is blow it. Uh, get it to game 7 only to lose. That's tough. That's tough. Oh, this is cool. The Guardians are promoting Aaron Davenport to AAA Columbus. Oh, what's the other move? I think it's because of Slade being brought up to Cleveland. He ain't going anywhere. Can't think of anything, any other reason. Aaron Davenport. Love to see that. Hopefully he'll be in Cleveland soon too. That'd be cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I will see you guys probably Tuesday. Yeah, I'll be live on Tuesday for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves and Thunder. Yeah, Timberwolves and Thunder. So with that being said, guys, have a good rest of your night, and go Guardians. Let's take this series against the damn Twins. All right, let's look like a serious ball club again. Because that Brewers series was fun. What I saw these last couple of days was not fun at all. See you guys later. Go Guards. I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. 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 Yeah.